I'm Saturday hauling today for you guys, and I didn't forget some skincare items. I have been trying not to forget the skincare items that I've been purchasing, and I slightly have in my last couple haul videos, but I remembered today. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some repurchases of some skincare products that I just absolutely love, and then also some makeup stuff. So first up is the Paula's Choice Clear Anti-Redness Exfoliating Solution. This is the regular strength version. They do have an extra strength version, but that's just a little bit too much for me. I've been using this particular product to use as a toner on my face morning and night for years and years, and I had actually run out of the toner a week ago, and I thought I had a backup and I didn't, and I was like, what am I gonna do? So I used a couple other toners that I have and tried out some other ones, and my skin was not happy. So I'm happy to have this back, and I'm still using it again morning and night. I use it on a Shiseido cotton pad right after I wash my face. Then next here is the Leilani Kalima Coconut Cream Cleansing Powder. This is a Hawaiian made brand. They do their stuff in small batches. Everything is really fresh. I ordered it off the Leilani website. I have gone through several bottles of this as well. I'll just show you what it looks like. The product itself smells like sherbet ice cream. The smell is just heavenly. And the smell comes from the actual ingredients in there. It's not like an added fragrance, but it comes in a glass bottle like this, and the product is a powder. And I like to use this in the morning for cleansing my face. Sometimes I'll use a really nourishing cleansing oil before this, and sometimes I'll just go straight in with this. I pour some in my hand, add a little bit of water and kind of form a paste, and then I massage it all over my face, and it does have a nice light exfoliation. It smells heavenly. It's a delight. It's a delight to use this in the morning. It's a delight to use it whenever, but typically I do use this in the morning. So I did go ahead and repurchase 3 bottles of this. It's not a cheap product by any means, but it's one that I really enjoy using, and I feel like it's effective as well. So that's the Leilani Kalima Coconut Cream Cleansing Powder. And then lastly, in the skincare department, I did repurchase the Tata Harper Clarifying Spot Solution. It's a little tiny, it's a spot solution. I have gone through several bottles of this. There was a minute, maybe about a month ago, where I purchased a 10% benzoyl peroxide for spots, because like I was saying in my last video, or maybe it was a video or 2 ago, my face broke out really bad, and it was a change in formula from the Josie Maran sunscreen, so I stopped using that, and my face has cleared up significantly since, but I still get, I do have acne prone skin. Anyway, I purchased the 10% benzoyl and was using that for a minute just to see if it would be faster or better, and it wasn't by any means at all. The Tata Harper one I feel like is gentle, but it helps bring the blemish to the surface of the skin, and I just feel like they go away a lot faster for me when I use it, and it just comes in a small tube, 10 milliliter tube. I do go through them pretty quickly, and it's about, I think it's $36, so it's not a cheap product either. Tata Harper products are really luxurious products anyway, but this one here really works well for a spot treatment for me, and I use it at night after I do everything for my skin routine. I just go over the spots with that guy, and it dries down, so like when I wake up in the morning, it's still on my face. Oftentimes with like benzoyl peroxide or other spot solutions, they come off in the middle of the night. That one doesn't. Now getting into some makeup, I did purchase 3 products from the MAC and Aaliyah collection. I was really excited for this collection just because I love Aaliyah so much. I wish it was kind of maybe a little bit bigger, but I think the packaging is pretty, but I also feel like they could have did a little bit more. I like the products that I purchased solely based on makeup collector purposes. The colors themselves are pretty, but the lipstick here that I'm going to show you is called Try Again. It's one of their matte formulas. The newer MAC matte lipstick formula is more one of those kind with silicones in it, so it's not really drying on the lips, so I do get along with the newer matte formula from MAC. The retro mattes, no. These ones are okay. This color, it's not really up my street, but I might try it out more in the fall time. It's really brown with a slight hint of a warmish gray to it, and it's called Try Again. And then I also purchased the Baby Girl bronzing powder, and this is what the compact looks like on this guy. This powder is pressed way too hard. It's very difficult to pick it up on a brush. I did use a stiffer brush when I used it, but it's still really difficult to pick up the product. It's just pressed too hard. The color is really warm with a golden sheen to it, and it did have the Aaliyah signature in the center of it. Again, I love Aaliyah so much, so that's kind of why I purchased these products, but this bronzer is not very good at all. So anyway, let me try to swatch it for you guys. And I did wear this on my skin. Again, I had to keep going into the pan to pick up the product. And even when I did get some product picked up, it didn't blend out on the skin very well either. And then lastly from that collection, I did purchase the Eyeshadow x9 palette. This is the outside box packaging on this guy. And there are 9 eyeshadows in here for a total amount of product of 0.2 ounces in the whole pan. So the little pans are quite small. Right here. And again, the colors in here are really pretty. The pigmentation is really good, blended really well. I feel like MAC's eyeshadow formula in collection palettes like this has gotten better over the years. They went through a spell where they just weren't that good. This one is pretty good. But let's get some swatches for you guys. How many mattes are in here? There's 2 matte eyeshadows, which are these 2 right here. This center shade is a matte with a sparkle kind of infused in it. But the base is matte. Oh, let's get this purple one. So those are the first 3. And then these next 3. And then the last ones here. So those are the swatches from the MAC and Aaliyah Age Ain't Nothing eyeshadow palette. Then when I was in Walmart, I seen that Maybelline and also L'Oreal had some of their newer products out. So I purchased the Maybelline Lemonade Craze eyeshadow palette. And I have worn this. I used quite a few shades in it. And this isn't that good. The matte eyeshadows are really, really thin. They're silky feeling because they're so finely milled, but they're a drier formula, so it's very difficult to build and blend on that type of a formula, at least for me. There are 2 metallic shades in here that are absolutely stunning, and I wish that they would have made the other shimmery shades in here similar to those ones because they would have turned out better. But for the most part, this isn't a very good eyeshadow palette. It's one that requires a lot of work, and because of that, it's not something that I'm going to reach for. So let me swatch you the 2 good shades. This color here, Pink Strawberry Lemonade and Sugar Coated, are great. They're very, very pretty, very pigmented, super shiny eyeshadows. Right there. Those are stunning. Now let me swatch you like this. Where's this other sparkly color? This one and this one. They're really sheer compared to those other ones. I wish they would have made these 2 like those ones. So those are some of the shimmery shades, but the mattes really failed for me on here. Again, I just had to pack and blend and pack and blend and pack and blend to get anything out of it. So I'm really going to go in heavy with these swatches. So there is a couple of swatches of some of the matte shades. They didn't work very well for me, like I said. And then L'Oreal came out with the Paradise Enchanted scented eyeshadow. This one smells like peaches. The Lemonade Craze doesn't. These 2 palettes have got the same exact type of packaging. L'Oreal owns Maybelline, so I'm sure that has something to do with it. But the same style of packaging in these 2 palettes. And also the formula in these 2 palettes is very, very similar. The thing about the L'Oreal one is it has more of those pretty metallic shades in there. They have a nice pigmentation. They have a foiled look to them. The mattes are like, the formula is very similar to that Maybelline one where they're finely milled but very, very thin, and you really have to work with those matte shades to get a look out of them. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those really shiny metallic type shades, and I do like the formula of those. So I'll show you some of these colors. This guy. This guy. So there's some of those shiny shades. Which the formula on those are really nice. And then let me give you some swatches of the mattes, which are quite dry feeling as well. From that same Paradise Enchanted collection, they came out with scented blushes as well, so I purchased one of those. And this one is in the shade 191 Fantastical. It's got a sheen to it, and it's a pretty peachy color. When I wore this, I found that it went on kind of patchy. I had to go back in and really kind of build up on the color and blend it and not be sure to overblend, because then some of the color would come off. I like the Covergirl Peach blush that I hauled last week better than this one right here. It does smell like peaches though. The color is really pretty. But on my skin, it went on a bit patchy, so I wasn't as nuts about it. Also from Maybelline, I saw this eyeliner, and it says it's a new one. It's the Lasting Drama Matte Automatic Pencil, and it's in number 910 Jade Olive. I really like green eyeliners. So I went ahead and thought I'd give this a try to see how well it would last on my waterline, and it migrated into the inner corners and faded off the outer portion of the waterline probably within 3 hours. So the wear time, I'm still trying to find like a kind of like a drugstore version of something that I love as much as the Givenchy Kohl Couture eyeliners, but I thought maybe this could be it. But it wasn't, at least for the waterline. I did swatch this on my skin and then go outside and feed horses, and the swatch stayed there the whole time on the skin. So I imagine that if you were to use it on the upper lash line or something like that, it's going to last quite well, but on the waterline, not so much. And then I was super excited to get this. I had seen it on Instagram. I was checking Sephora to see if it launched on the Sephora website so I could go ahead and buy one, but they ended up sending me the PR for it, which is, this is from Milk Makeup, and it's their new Cush Eyebrow Gel. So they sent this here, and there is a clear, Haze is the shade that I've been wearing all week. It's the blonde, kind of the lightest shade, and then there's Dutch, which is medium neutral, and Grind, which is a dark neutral, and then they also sent a mini of their Cush Mascara, which I do have in the full size. And what I've been doing recently, because of the ingredients in the Cush Mascara, I wanted to use that as well, and I've been using the Grand Lash, which has been kind of helping my eyelashes grow. So I've been putting on a coat of the Grand Lash and then following it up for coat number 2 with the Cush Mascara, so I can kind of get the best from both of the mascaras. I like the Cush Mascara, but I find that I have to put 3 coats on to get the volume and length if I use it by itself. So I've really been enjoying using that Grand Lash MD Mascara first, and then putting a coat of the Cush Mascara over the top of it. I'll fill you guys in on how my lashes start to look using both of those in like a month. It's an interesting experiment. But they did send over one of those minis in this too. Let me show you the shades. Like I said, there is a clear version, and then there are 3 tinted versions. And inside of here it says Cush Fiber Brow Gel. Tinted brow gel fills, defines, and thickens with heart-shaped fibers. Hemp-derived CBD-infused cannabis oil conditions. Comes in 3 neutral shades to work across all colors, and then with a little asterisk it says the cannabidiol CBD in Cush Brow Gel is hemp derived and non-psychoactive. And for some reason I have a weird infatuation with wanting to put CBD oil on my skin and in makeup products and stuff like that. So I'm excited to be using the mascara and these brow products. Like I said, I've been using the shade Haze on my brows all week long, and I really like it. It defines the brow hairs. Like the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Duo and Taupe that I use is a little bit darker than this, so when I go over it with this Haze shade, it kind of really almost like highlights the brow hairs. It's what I have through my brows to date, and one of the biggest things is there was no breakouts or no like little bumps throughout my brows, which is one of the problems that I have when I try eyebrow products in general. This one hasn't caused any blemishes either in or around my eyebrows, so I really like that. There is how much? 0.15 fluid ounces in the tube. So this one is the Haze shade, which is more like a blonde. I don't really see any hearts in the shapes of fibers on there. Maybe I should, you know, get the microscope out, but this one is in the shade Haze. And this is the one that I've been using all week, because they sent them. I got them last Saturday, I think it was. It's a product that I will end up purchasing for sure. The next shades are Dutch, which is the medium color. Right here. I'm trying to get a good shade color for you guys. And then the last shade is in the color Grind, and this is the darkest color out of the three. It's pretty dark. So I'm super excited about this. I'll let you guys know too if, because I'm going to continue to use that, if my eyebrows end up, you know, thickening or anything like that, I'll definitely let you guys know. But the product itself, my eyebrows aren't stiff either. That's one of the things I know a lot of people like, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel, but that just kind of feels like, super glue on my eyebrows. It does hold really well, but this one doesn't feel stiff, but it is holding my brows in place nice. So big thank you to Milk Makeup for sending those over. Next up, when I was in Ulta, like, it was about a week ago, I seen the display. They had the Revolution Conceal and Define concealers out, which people have been comparing this to the Tarte Shape Tape and kind of calling it a drugstore dupe version of it, which, so I was excited to try it, but I purchased this shade C1, and this isn't, to me at least, this is not a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. I found that the formula itself is thinner and it doesn't cover, it's not like a full coverage concealer like the Tarte Shape Tape. It does sit nicely underneath the eyes, but the coverage, for me at least, just wasn't there. It's an okay concealer. It's got the big doe foot applicator. Again, this is shade C1, but I don't think it's a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape, which I like Tarte Shape Tape when I mix it with other concealers, because by itself it's just a little bit too drying and a little bit too heavy for underneath the eye for me. But that is the shade C1 from Makeup Revolution. It's a nice concealer, but I wouldn't call it a dupe. And since we're talking about concealers, Too Faced did send me over their whole range of the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, which is a new product from Too Faced, and I actually had this in my bucket. I think it was on the, it was either on Ulta or Sephora. I can't remember. In the lightest shade, but in the interim I did get these in PR. So the shade I've got here is in the shade Swan. I've used the three lightest shades in the range, this one being the lightest one. I have a very pink undertone to my skin, and when I put something that's neutral, or even it'll pull yellow on my skin because there's so much pink in my skin, it will look yellowish. This one does look a little bit too yellow underneath my eyes, and when I end up having too much yellow under my eyes, I almost look a little jaundicey. So I really wish that this had like maybe a peach or a pink undertone to it. The formula though is really nice. I think that this is like Too Faced's answer to Tarte's Shape Tape kind of deal. It has got a diamond doe foot applicator that's very large. I don't know how well you can see the diamond shape to it. And I actually like the formula of this guy better than the Tarte Shape Tape. It covers well like Tarte Shape Tape, but it doesn't feel as heavy underneath the eyes. The formula blends out really, really nice, and it's not as thick or dry feeling as Tarte Shape Tape. So I do really like the formula of this. I just wish that there was a shade that had a more pinky peach undertone for my skin tone at least. I can about imagine that people that aren't as pink and pale as me are going to find some shades that they do like. But so this is meant to conceal, contour, highlight, and retouch, and I'm not somebody who uses cream products really to contour and highlight my face. I like to use powder products. So when I got this, right away is what I wanted to use it for, was a concealer underneath the eye. And like I said, it did blend out really well, but the color for me it just is too, this is a neutral type of a undertone, but on my pink skin tone it does look yellow. So that is the lightest shade and it's called Swan. I gave my mom this to try the second lightest shade, and I think it's called Snow, and she really likes it, so she's just gonna keep it, which is fine by me because it is too yellow, but you can see just a little bit of that and how well it covers And the formula feels really, really nice on the skin too. So a big thank you to Too Faced for sending over the range of concealers. Let me know if it would be helpful for me to swatch the entire range on my skin tone for you guys. And if it is, I will do that in my next haul video, probably on Saturday. I just don't know if something like that is helpful, but let me know and I'll go ahead and grab that shade that my mom has and I'll swatch them all for you guys. And then lastly, I did purchase the Dominique Cosmetics Lemonade eyeshadow palette. It did come with a pretty gold sleeve with the shades on the back. I purchased the Latte palette off of Ulta some time ago now, and I love that palette. Her shadow formula is really, really good. The shadows are really substantial and pigmented, and they blend out really well. I was just really impressed with her eyeshadow palette. I almost want to say that it's probably one of the best like influencer eyeshadow palettes that I've ever tried, which I've tried quite a few. So I was really happy that she was coming out with another palette. This one I did purchase off of her website when it first launched, and I think it is sold out now because I posted a picture on Instagram and some people had said that it was sold out. But I'm pretty sure that it's going to come back in stock probably on her website and eventually head to Ulta, kind of like the Latte palette did, because I think that one sold out right away too. And I didn't jump the bandwagon on that right away. I had waited and kind of ho-hummed around, and then I finally purchased it off of Ulta, and I really like both of these palettes. This is what I have on my eyes today. It comes in a cardboard magnetic packaging that flips, good size mirror, flips all the way back, and then here are your eyeshadows. One of the things about both of her palettes is they're coordinated really, really well, both from the shimmer formulas and the matte formulas. She's got a range of light shades, deep shades, middle shades, a nice array of both mattes and shimmers in terms of formula, and everything works really well together. Like, there isn't a combination, I don't think, in this palette that you could pair together and it wouldn't come out looking nice. I have got, I think, 6 of the eyeshadows on my eyes today, and this formula is the same great formula from the Latte palette. And I hadn't expected when I purchased the Latte palette to be so over the moon about it, but I'm over the moon about both of these eyeshadow palettes, and even more over the moon for the next ones that she releases, because the formula is so great on the palettes. So anyway, let me go ahead and give you guys some swatches of this guy. I'm sure it will be in stock on her website and then also on the Ulta website soon too. And her palettes are made in the USA, and there are 1.4 grams per eyeshadow. You're getting quite a bit of eyeshadow inside this palette. You've got 4 matte eyeshadows and 6 shimmers, but the matte shadows that are in here, light, 2 nice blend out shades, and a deep crease, and they work for me. They worked out great. I used all 4 of them today. And then you've got 6 shimmers. So these 2, and then these 2 are your mattes, and then your shimmers are these guys, and then these 4 over here. So let's give you guys some swatches. I just really love this. I just really love her palettes. They're just great. Such a pretty, fun palette. So those are the first 3, and the next ones. And then these last 4. So that is the Dominique Cosmetics Lemonade eyeshadow palette. Again, this is what I have on my eyes today, and I love it. So that's all for my haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.